Hi guys, it's Steve from Vintage Classics here with my weekly little show. I want to start out by saying, first of all, thank you for everybody who watched my last video I put out. I have never expected. I think I got almost 1,300 views so far in a week. Most of mine, I get a couple hundred views, but thank you again for choosing to watch my video. This is video number 32 I have, so I don't really have a large number of them out there like some of the people that have their own little video channel things going and shows. I'm working on it. As you guys know, I put one out pretty much every Monday. It's been a little while there when I was out of commission, so I missed a few weeks, but I try to put it out for you. And I really appreciate the comments I've been getting and the support and all you guys that subscribe. So if you do like this and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Eventually, I'm going to try to have a giveaway type thing where I can put together for something for maybe my 500th or, well, the way I'm going, maybe 200th subscriber. But I'm going to show you a few recent pickups and then some graded cards. But I wanted to start out by talking a little bit, following up on, I don't know if you guys watched John Mangini's last video or one of his last videos. He brought up some really good points on how we've allowed PSA to kind of control our hobby. And they pretty much, not pretty much, they do, along with other grading companies, set prices and standards. Yet we don't know, like John said in his video, we don't know who is doing the evaluation of the cards, their credentials or their background on cards. They knowledgeable. I mean, you submit it to PSA, and there's been big mistakes made by the grading companies on cards. And everybody knows, you're dealing with human beings, mistakes are going to be made. But my question kind of mirrors what John was saying in that how do we know how qualified the person is that's looking at it? In other words, what may be a 9 to me might be a 10 to you. You don't get the same person reviewing your submissions to PSA or SGC or any of the big ones, Beckett. You never know who you're going to get. I'm sure they have a number of employees, and as they come in, they get assigned a caseload or whatever. But every person has, I know they have guidelines they must go by, but everybody has their own, like I'd say, like standards, things that they look for. Even as collectors, we do that when you buy cards. I try to find cards that are as centered as best as possible with nice coloring. The corners, they're old cards. I'm not worried about the corners as much, unless they're really, really bad. But that's things that I look for. But a couple recent pickups that I made now that I ranted about the PSA. It's not just PSA, grading in general. I kind of wish that, it'll never happen, but I kind of wish that we could have just stayed with the way we were. Everybody used a Beckett price guide. And I still subscribe to Beckett Vintage magazine that comes out. In fact, I'd have to leave the picture for a minute, but I have one right over there. And just for a ballpark thing, and I look at the cards, some of them are up arrows or down arrows. And we must all remember, a lot of old timers remember when there was no price guides, but those of you who do remember the days of using Beckett magazine, you'd go and buy when a new one came out, and you'd see the prices reflected, whether it be an up arrow or down arrow or no change at all. But not so much anymore. Everything's dictated now by whether the card's graded or not and what grade it receives. So, like I said, I have about 150 graded cards. I'm not anywhere near what some of you guys have out there, but I've never sent a card off to be graded. All mine have either been through trade or I purchased it already graded, mostly on eBay or other sites. So I've never sent one off yet, and most of the ones I have are PSA. But here's some recent additions that just came within the last week and a half or so. A big Bruins collector, Boston Bruins. So if any of you guys have Bruins cards that you're willing to trade or whatever, just reach out to me. I collect all the Bruins cards, any of them that I can find. But I did pick up a few, like I said, within the last week or so. This is a 1965-66. This is a O-Pee-Chee, Eddie Johnston. Eddie was a backup to Jerry Cheevers. That duo, somewhat similar to what we have now in Boston with Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark, although that's probably going to get broken up in the next couple of weeks because Bruins are talking about trading more than likely Ullmark to free up cash to use in other areas. But back in the day, Jerry Cheevers and Eddie Johnston formed a great duo. Bruins had a powerhouse team, as a lot of you guys know. Unfortunately, only won 2 cups during that time. But the goaltending and the rest of the talent team was outstanding, and Eddie had a key role. So that's his card. Next, I have a bunch of 1972, 73 tops and O-Pee-Chee. Not a bunch, three. More Bruins. Again, it's Eddie Johnston. This is a tops card. As a kid, I never missed a Bruins game. I remember the opening to the Bruins, the theme. All of you guys that lived in the Massachusetts area grew up watching the Bruins on Channel 38. The theme song would come on, and even as a little kid, I'd have my pajamas on and get all excited. But it was it was before cable, so. But I remember they had some great teams, the Bruins. All right, here's an O-Pee-Chee, Don Marcotte. Don was a good hip checker, good in the corners, working with the puck. Really good player, like I said, a role player, but the type that you need to have to be successful in the NHL. So, all right, next we have Mike Walton. Mike had a short run with the Bruins, but he was a good ball player, good hockey player. Played the game well. Like I said, he'd been with the Bruins 2 years at this point. He had come over from the Toronto Maple Leafs when the Bruins acquired him. So, and then the last one I picked up was a 1961 Tony Kubek, Yankees shortstop, second baseman. If you guys remember the game of the week, it was Joe Garagiola and Tony Kubek. This is Tony right here. But that was the highlight. That was your chance as us kids that grew up in the 60s and 70s. That was our chance to see the National League teams on the game of the week, or teams that we didn't normally see. For me, I saw the Channel 38 televised almost all the Red Sox games, so I saw all the American League teams. The only time I saw the National League team was in the playoffs or the game of the week, and then the players during the All-Star game, American League against the National League. So, okay, that's that one. Next is a what's called a Dexter Press. This is a 1968. 68 one was this size. I think this is a 4x6 or something. It's Frank Robinson, the great Frank Robinson. Won the MVP in both the American League and the National League. And on the back. The 68s are small. I believe it's a 67. Is the bigger one. It's along the size of a 5x8 or whatever. Whereas this is a smaller one. I have the 67 one. I just didn't take it out. I should have. But this is Frank Robinson in the 1968 Dexter Press. So, and then I picked up a. Being that the Celtics won the championship, I wasn't going to go there and rub it in, but being that the Celtics won their 18th championship banner, I had to get a card. So I ordered this the other day. It's a 2019 Panini Mosaic Jaylen Brown Reactive Blue. Like I said, I'm normally all about vintage and not the new stuff, but I really like the way this card looked. It's hard to see, I know, with number one, it's reflective, and plus the lighting in here, the back of it. That team is, in my opinion, the Celtics are built for a little bit of a run. For how long, I don't know, but they're young. The core team is young itself, and I just love Tatum and Brown, Porzingis, Derek White, Drew Holiday, like I said, Kristaps Porzingis, Peyton Pritchard, the whole team. Big Al Horford, who just got news the other day. He's coming back next year, so that's good news for us Celtics fans. But it's just it's a very humble team. They enjoy playing with each other. They enjoy one night it might be one guy has all the points, the next night it's another guy. So it's not like it's everybody says it's Tatum's team, and Tatum is probably the big name on the team without a doubt. But Jaylen Brown is just as much, maybe more of a vocal leader than Tatum is. Especially you saw that in the playoffs. But it's just a team that's easy to like. In today's world of sports, you got so many big egos and guys that tend to run their mouths and say things, and you might even be your home team, but they're not a team that you get attached to, that you have a warm feeling for, that you enjoy. Watching them succeed. With the Celtics, they are a team like that. They put their time in. They won 80 games, counting the playoffs in the regular season, and just a remarkable team in my opinion. Joe Mazzulla did a great job. I wasn't a big Joe Mazzulla fan when they first hired him. Even into the season, I was still a little bit doubtful. My wife liked him; she thought he was a great coach. But he's local; he's from Rhode Island. But came to respect him a lot, and I think he's done a wonderful job in building that Celtics roster and utilizing the players and the right combinations and everything. Okay, well, that's that one. Then I got 1934 Diamond Stars. I love the Diamond Stars from 34. This is Sparky Adams of the Reds. I think he was a shortstop. Yeah, shortstop and third baseman. I just love the way those cards look. If there was an era that I could live in other than the present day, it would probably be the 30s and 40s because I loved Lou Gehrig. I would love to have seen him play in his heyday. I know that times were tough. We just got out of the Depression, and maybe the economy wasn't the best. But if I could just go back for a week, say, I would love to go back during baseball season during that time. And I definitely would try to bring back some cards in a time machine. Like I said, these are some of my favorites. I just like them. I mean, the colors, the designs. I don't have a lot of them, maybe 3 or 4 of them. I believe I showed another one a couple weeks ago. So, but that's one of my favorites. I can't help show anything without showing with the recent passing of Willie Mays, this card that I got signed 25 years ago, probably signed by Willie Mays. It's a 1978 TCMA card of Willie. Like I said, I had it signed at least 25 years ago, maybe more than that. But Willie was a great player. In my opinion, the greatest player in baseball history. He could do it all. And you guys have heard this a million times since his recent passing. If you didn't get a chance to watch that game at Rickwood Field in Alabama the other day, what a great game that was. A good tribute to some of the legends of the Negro Leagues, guys who for years, and there's not a lot of them left that are still living, didn't get the spotlight. The big ones did, Jackie and Satchel, Willie, and guys like that. But a lot of the guys in that league, if they were playing in today's league, I firmly believe they would be all-stars or great players, and they just never get their due. Most of them, you could say their name to the average fan, they'd be like, "Who the hell's that?" But it's a shame because they were good ball players. And it's a shame what at the time what the world did to those guys, whether it be riding on buses or the way they had to eat meals separate from the rest of the team. I'm glad that they had their moment in the sun, and I'm glad Major League Baseball is incorporating their stats into the databases and updating all the current rankings of all-time categories. Now, a lot of people argue that, well, how do we know how accurate their stats are? Their stats weren't kept that well, but through a lot of research, there's a couple sites you can go on that they've researched box scores and newspaper clippings and stuff, and they verified a lot of it. Is it 100% complete? No. But I just feel it's a good thing that they're getting their due. It's long overdue for them. So, all right, enough preaching to you. Now I'm going to show you the Deco cards. I have the whole set of the 1969 Deco baseball, but the 1970 Deco Edge O-Pee-Chee hockey, I only have one. No, I have 2. I'm sorry, I lied. I have Derek Sanderson and Phil Esposito. Esposito's in a case over there, but I do have Sanderson here. It's a PSA 4. They're nice looking cards. They have the Deco Edge. If you're not familiar with that, it's like a little ridge all the way around it. Derek Sanderson was a hero around here with the woman. They loved Derek Sanderson in the day. He was a colorful character too on the as the color analyst on Nesson in the 90s, and I believe around early 2000 he was all done. But he was interesting to listen to, and a good player, great center iceman. Set up Bobby Orr with that famous goal where Orr's flying through the air to win the cup against the Blues. That was Derek Sanderson that fed him the puck. But that's Sanderson's O-Pee-Chee Deco Edge. Next is one of the Patriots' great Hall of Famers, the 1974 Topps John Hannah PSA 7. That's John Hannah's rookie card. John was a great offensive lineman for the Patriots. And he played in the day when we didn't have a lot of good things happening to us. We weren't winning many games. We struggled for a while. Oops, getting a little alert on my phone here. That's not good. My battery's getting low, so I'm going to have to wrap it up pretty soon. But the great player for the Patriots, had a great career, and rightfully so, was in the Canton Hall of Fame. That's his rookie card, John Hannah, 1974 Topps. Then you got the Phil Rizzuto, the money store man. This is autographed. This was graded by TGA. It's a guy in that New Hampshire company who started a company. Does a great job. He's at a lot of the shows in the East Coast area. If you get a chance, he's much cheaper than the other ones. He does a good job. Well, he graded this one an 8 for the card and an authentic autograph. It's Phil Rizzuto. His famous saying was "Holy cow!" You probably remember this is Phil Rizzuto for the Money Store commercials. That's Phil right there. All right, then we have Frank Gifford, Monday Night Football. This is a same company, TGA, graded it a 7, an authentic autograph. It's a Frank Gifford. It's hard to see the autograph. It's across where the numbers are on his uniform. These are nice cards if you, to get signed. They're made by Swell. They did both baseball and football. They usually have a nice color picture on there of them, and their stats are on the back. So that's Frank Gifford. Then you got another one graded by the same company, TGA. It's a 9, and it's an authentic autograph of Joe Frazier, the great Joe Frazier. Smoking Joe Frazier. He had some good battles with Muhammad Ali. Here's the back of it for you. This is a 1991 AW Sports Boxing Joe Frazier. So, tough guy. Like I said, great fighter. Now, everybody knows Jackie Robinson with the broke the color barrier. What a lot of people forget is that the first, they shouldn't forget him, the first guy in the American League, black player to make an appearance in the American League was Larry Doby with the Cleveland Indians. That's he graded a 6.5 for the card and an authentic autograph. Like I said, Larry Doby was the first black ball player in the American League. Next, you got a 1957 Topps Pee Wee Reese. The Yankees had Phil Rizzuto, and the Brooklyn Dodgers had Pee Wee Reese. Two very similar ball players, great shortstops, timely hitters. Like I said, his real name was Harold H. Reese, otherwise known as Pee Wee. I guess I'd go by Pee Wee too. But like I said, solid shortstop. Next is a signed Artis Gilmore rookie. It's a 1972 Topps. The card graded a 7 with an authentic autograph. Very colorful set. The A-Train. That was his nickname, the A-Train, Artis Gilmore. Big guy. 7'2". Like I said, plays center, Hall of Famer. Solid player. Played here for the Celtics for a little while. Next, you got a graded as a 7. You have a Carlton Fisk and Cecil Cooper rookie card, 1972 Topps. Pudge Fisk, great Red Sox catcher. Then you got a 1973 Kellogg's, one of the cereal cards, Lou Brock, the mint 9. Lou was a fast runner. Came over from the Cubs to the Cardinals, and probably one of the worst trades the Cubs made. But the solid player, held the stolen base record for a long time till Ricky Henderson broke it. That's Lou Brock from the Cardinals. Next up, you got a 1988 Fleer sticker. It's a Larry Bird. It's a PSA 7. As I've told you before, Larry Bird. Sorry about that. Some of these I have them sealed in a plastic bag inside there to protect the slab, the plastic. Larry's my all-time favorite NBA player of all time. Next is the 1977 Topps. Robert Parrish is his rookie card. It's a PSA 8. The Chief. Part of one of our big three. Bird, McHale, and Parrish up front. We had DJ and Danny Ainge in there. And Bill Walton coming off the bench. The recently passed away Bill Walton, but great guy. I have some of his stuff too. Another one of my favorites. And speaking of favorites, another Celtic. 1979 Topps. I had this sign. It says, "To Steve, good luck, Dave Cowens." It's a 6.5 with an authentic autograph. Dave Cowens, the big redhead. Played center. He wasn't the biggest guy. In fact, they list him at 6'9". Good rebounder, inside scorer. Key component of the early 70s Celtics teams with Havlicek and JoJo White and Silas and those guys. All right, next up, one of my all-time favorite players is Roberto Clemente, and this is a 1960 Topps for Clemente. It's a Beckett graded 4.5. Oh, that glare is bad. I wish I could. I don't want to have to take it out of the plastic, but there you go. It's a nice card of Clemente. Trying to get a whole run of Clemente. I'm trying to finish all of his cards from his active years. Cards that were put out while he was playing. Not the ones that have come out every year, the commemorative ones, and include them in cards. Now I'm looking for the ones that when he was actually playing. Here's the 1968 Topps game Roberto Clemente cards. It's a PSA 3. Great Pirates Hall of Famer. Had a cannon for an arm, could do it all, run gracefully, hit for power. As you guys all know, got his 3,000th hit, exactly 3,000, and he died that following winter on a humanitarian plane trip to Nicaragua to bring supplies and medical supplies and food and everything. And unfortunately, the plane went down. Never found his body or remains or anything. But the great Roberto Clemente. That's about all I have for you. Oh no, I take that back. I forgot I got some stuff on the floor here. I took out a few RC Cola cans. I know you guys are probably familiar with these. You see them at garage sales, or yard sales, or flea markets a lot. I have 3 or 4 of them. I grabbed them right here. First one is going to be the Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven. It's a regular RC can. And on the side is the player depicted. His picture, and down below is a little summary of him. There was 100 cans put out that year. And I have 3 of them, so not doing too good. 3% of it said I have. Just something different. Another one RC, one of Goose Gossage, Hall of Famer. All right. And then we have one more. You got Mike Torres. Pitcher. Not well remembered in around here from the 1978 game when he was pitching when Bucky Dent hit that home run at the one-game playoff that eliminated us. And the Yankees went on to the playoffs, and we went home. I remember that day because I was playing high school football when it happened on the sidelines. We had a radio going, listening to the game, and unfortunately it didn't turn out well for us. But Mike Torres pitched that day. And one last thing is the great Walter Johnson. I told you in my last video, starting lineups. I have a bunch of them. I was out this past weekend with my wife. We have a travel trail up in Hampton Falls, New Hampshire, with my good friend Tony. And we went I went to a place that has cards and comics, and the guy had a bunch of starting lineups. Most of them I already had, but I had this one, but I had it opened. This is Walter Johnson, 1997. If I can get it close. Walter's one of the all-time pitching greats. This is a part of the Cooperstown collection. So I'll put that away with the rest of my Hall of Famers. All right, that's about all I have for you this week. Like I said, thank you so much for the response I got last week. I really appreciate it. And I try to bring you guys stuff each week. It's informative. I try to, bring a little bit of my knowledge to you. Not that there's a lot, but I believe in being honest. I shoot from the hip, and I love cards. I love the hobby. I love the cards. I love hearing from you guys. In fact, I don't just love this hobby. I love watching people's hobbies in general. I just like seeing things that people collect. It's interesting to me. So, all right. Well, without further ado, remember, keep on collecting. And until next week, may God bless you and your family. And thank you again for watching. Take care.